I'm able to mirror them so clearly. Is me practicing being able, well, or maybe the alphabet practicing being able to control me. That's how I used to view speaking. I used to view speaking in that mannerism. Sometimes I still do. But I love how it sounds. I love how it can go. I love the places that it will go, the things it's reminded you of. But then there's other things. There's other forces, these forces, and I saw that word. I saw the word live, and I it was a reminder because I was spending energy in when I could just be speaking. I would like to type, but video myself speak. What is on your forehead? What is in the head? This is just what I want to tell you. I just want to tell you, it's all the head, but you already know that, and that's what's beautiful, and that's how things can just appear. But yeah, that's all it is analyzing and thinking. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's cool. It's cool to analyze and think, and that's what the forehead is. But I can't even feel. I can't even feel in. Can't even set this up anymore. I can't even. I can't even feel in third person. I mean first person. I don't feel like I'm in first person because I feel like everything in front of me and sideways is my forehead. But check this out. Earlier, I was like, it's gonna rain. I'm gonna make it rain. This is going to rain. And I was even gonna tell people to get it in their heads. But I didn't. But I imagined myself doing it. I imagined myself making a post and saying, hey, everybody. Because that's how I talk to people. That's the only way I talk to people. I directly, like that. So I guess it's always one on one because it's for everyone, all of the world right now that can hear me, hear me. But I was just feeling really great, feeling really interesting. Hello, I got your I got your letter. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, very much pleasure to be able to give people art because that's just what I do, and having it be along the ideas of not only is it exploration, which is also universe explanation, God explanation. See how I say explanation? Because all of it is like portraits, landscapes, stuff like that, symbols, but also creation, ultimately transformation. There's so much going on here, uh, you know, and I'm not the only one seeing it. I'm not the only one seeing it. You don't want to be seeing it from where I'm seeing it, because from where you're seeing it is that is the art. I'm showing it. I so it's an honor to have it be known. Uh, and this is all in such a and I used to never want to say that, but this is all in such a there in sort of a selfless service type thing, because I don't want it to be just for me. I never liked it from that angle. And then I always thought, oh, that would be, or am I just different than everybody else and everybody is here just to experience? Oh, yes. But but anytime I do look at it, or wow. Am I being uploaded with that? But I put all of best words, all of my best. Oh yeah, maybe that shouldn't be what I should do. But then how can I figure it out? For a second. I should. No. I say the words. I say the words and I imprint them. I imprint them into. Yeah, so being able to exchange, you know, currency for that as well. Being able to exchange currency for that as well is cool. I really wanted to get some yellow on here. Being able to exchange currency, exchange energy. Just wait and you will see what you have done to me. What you have done to me. Look what you've done to me. Look what you've done to me. I just love hanging out with all these bugs and ants. You know, people do not have this instrument here. People do not like the feel of bugs and ants. Ah, yes. So I'm a character, correct? Kind of see myself as a character. You see yourself as a character. We're all just the same sort of being hanging out here. Imprinted. Tons of us doing the same thing. And that's what everybody will tell you. Everybody you run into will just be like, yeah, there's a lot of us out here. It's like, oh yeah, you're me, I'm me. We all know that. We all know that. We all know we're all the same. We all know that. It's all known. So now I can move on. But it seems like that message will never be gone. There it is. The garden. I was gonna talk about. I guess I can talk about it real quick, and then I'll do it, and then I'll do a ritual. So this right here. This right here. Stuff funny. This stuff is intense. They're saying the entire time, you are God. You are the universe. The universe is God. It's all the mind. It's wow. See, if you just yeah, it's crazy. The self, all of that. This is intense. This is intense stuff, especially on this page. Why did I highlight those pages? Brahman, source, substance, the end of the universe, partakes of every phase of existence. He wakes with the waking man, dreams with the dreamer, and sleeps the deep sleep of the dreamless sleeper. But he transcends these three states to become himself. His true nature is pure consciousness. Yeah. So reading this thing, I was just like, this is a while ago, right? And I was just like, oh yeah, okay. Like, this is basically an ancient text of people who have come to the same conclusion so many times that they turn it into a religion. And I'm just the same as them. Non-duality. All of that. It's... Why is that the message? Because that is just a representation. It's going to sound ridiculous. But it's not going to sound ridiculous. It just sounded ridiculous for a sec. This all needs paint on it. This needs paint on it. For connection. For love. That's what that means. 2 equals da 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 da. It's nothing crazy, wacko, or esoteric. It's just getting caught up in language and realizing you're beyond the language. when I opened that, it sounded like a lighter. Okay, it's open. Can't tell if that bird was a cat. Oh, I lost focus. I was explaining to you how I made it rain, and that's why it was raining. And I started focusing on other things. But I also said it was going to rain intensely. It's going to rain so deeply. The whole sky is going to be black. Ooh. Oh yeah, no, earlier I was thinking about that and I was like making it happen and then it got really intense and I was thinking, ooh, and tons of people grounded. Oh, this doesn't have any paint in it. This doesn't have any paint in it. Yeah, so keep me on track, y'all. Not to, yeah, no. Not to. And so all of life is just convincing ourselves to break the programming. That's what a conversation is. And guess what? It's fun. it's fun. It's very, very fun. And this is what this ant is doing. This is what the stars are doing. This is what it's all on all levels. On all levels, fractaling out. That's what's going on. Another book. There's some other versions of you out here that they used it as a tool. Oh, hey. While all is in the all, it is equally true that the all is in all. To him who truly understands this truth hath come great knowledge. But all truths are half-truths. They had to say it in their language. They're saying the same thing. Saying the same thing. But I like when it gets into manipulation. You know, you're nature, so you can manipulate yourself. But you asked me a question earlier. I don't know what it was. But I've been planting some seeds in this garden. That's what all this is. All of this was a random art that just generated, and now I'm being affected by it. Now I'm being affected by it. But I don't know if you saw that down there. Like, it's poking out. It grows at a rapid rate, a rapid manner. That doesn't mean it'll grow huge, but it's a little thought form. It's a little thought form down there. Throw it some. It eats crystals. I threw it some amethyst. See, but in the crystals, 1847, the crystals bring out the essence, you know, the light, because they're vehicles for the light. The crystals bring that out. There it is. So when birds, but a question about birds. When birds talk to you, do they really have something to say to you? Are they talking to you? Or are you just hearing them? I say you're just hearing them. But they symbiotically said, you know, they symbolically said something because everything in the environment. See, and then we go on those strange tangents. Everything in the environment, the mind, it is environmental. Whatever the circumstance was, it had to do with you. The heart has to do with the lungs, the brain has to do with the eyes. But when it's all just healing parts of yourself, healing others. So yeah, down here, more time, more distance. But there it is. See it growing? Do you think it's ready to... Do you think it's ready to... Do you think it's ready to pick? As a human, you know? As the plant that is a human? When do you ripen? You said it's funny people think that it's possible to die. Is that what happens when you fall off as a leaf? Or is that just a bit of disconnection? So do I pick it? No, because it's not attached to the earth. It is not attached to the earth. So you don't have to pick it. And that's the human being convinced it's a plant. And that's just a sign that by default, you're not this. You're also the plant. You're also everything else. But there's still the deep question. Still the deep 2347. The deep, deep question of all of it. Beyond infinity. Is infinity really trying to comprehend beyond itself? So the human is a fruit, right? But I'm not just talking about animals. I'm talking about people, creatures, any sort of animals. Wow. Or is this our fruit? As a tree, but it's just not as connected to us. Oh, the plants just sent me a bunch of messages. The plant said, it's rushing to your head. These plants said, ooh, see, now I can really communicate with them. These plants said everything that you said, everything that you read has came true somewhere, right? And now you're infinity trying to comprehend beyond itself. The plant said, stop bragging, you're not any better than us. You just evolved in a different way. You just evolved in a slightly different way. I get it, you can move around. We also have all those emotions and frustrations and thought and intellect. But us, we're just pure spirit. We just work completely automatically. Do you think the ants astral project? The ants. What kind of question is that, plant? And now this one is saying you need a pen and draw on that leaf. No, see, I felt like tearing it off, but I don't even want to. I'm just gonna give it a tattoo. So we're trees, but we're not attached to the ground. But they're working off their pure spirit, just existing right there. Oh wait. Oh wait. I need to get some paint. But I just love the noises that occur all over. 27, 47. I'm just gonna bring this with you. So yeah, they grow down here. They grow down here, and up here is my force field. And everything I'm imagining as a child, imagine everything you ever imagined as a child. What made you think of those sort of things? Come on, plant, right? And you're not actually moving around. We are not actually moving around. That's why your toes feel that way. That's why your toes feel that way. That's why your toes feel that way, because they're connected in the ground. That's why you can barely move them. Don't you ever wonder, what is a toe? What is a heel? What is that? Why is it like that? Why is it growing in those mannerisms? Why does it have those sorts of thoughts? Beliefs. But don't get into that. Don't get into that philosophy. That's what the plants say. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is proof that we create the environment. And the environment is creating us. You know what I mean? But that we would see ourselves in that, like that. Oh geez. Oh geez. Oh, a lot of red just poured out. A lot of red just poured out. So a tree is sitting there, correct? Oh, wow. Oh. Oh. A tree is sitting there, correct? It's not moving. It's not growing. A tree is not growing. I'm onto something here. It is growing. It's sitting there growing. And as it grows, the environment around it changes and moves around. Oh, of course. Forgot to put water in that. The environment changes and the environment moves around. As you grow, as the tree. And you think you're moving around. You think you're moving from house to house, from building to building, from tree to park, from cube to cube. You think you're the cube moving through a larger cube. But really, you're the tree. And the tree is a cube. And the faces of the cube are shifting. And that's why there's so many of you. That's why there's so many of us. Because the faces of the cube are shifting into infinity. Shifting into infinity. So does that make sense to you guys? Does that make sense to you guys? So what we're doing here is we're completely hopping in, jumping into into other worlds and through our mind through thought experiments. We are realizing what it's like to be a tree, because we're accepting the tree as a part of us. We are accepting the tree as a part of us. That needed to be green. That needed to be. So any questions? I mean, that's one way of saying it, and I was acceptable of saying that, but tomorrow I'll come up with a whole new other way of saying it, because every day I just say the same thing, just in different creative ways. Oh, it turned black down there. It seeped into black. So it's funny that I said that, because how does that tie into the human being being able to fly? How does that correlate? How do those tie in? If you're flying, you're not attached to the ground. Or are you? Because the ground is just an accumulation of space. Oh, yes. That's it. The ground is an accumulation of space. So let's shift this. Let's shift our focus into stranger areas. Stranger areas being those feelings you get, those emotions. The water. Got a crack? An abyss? But what is this? Oh, yeah. The, there's a little bug on my screen. He's crawling over you. There's some here as well. Oh, I like that better. Ah, 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 ah. Well, that is a good point to touch on. Oh no, I was gonna put some more of my urine inside of this white paint. But that is a good topic to touch on because it's an interesting thought. Is it like that with souls? Is it like that with souls? Are the souls evolved all the same way? Ooh. Yes, because time is really not a factor. And really, beyond all that, all the plants, like you are the plants in another version of what time really is. And nobody's ever going to be able to explain what time really is. Because it's not really time. Oh, I should probably get some of that thicker paper. It's not really time. We use time for too many instances. It's not a good way to put it. Yo. That's not what it is. Ooh, we got some Rasta colors going on right there. Oh, yeah, so what that really is you're living all of those things on a scale, but it's not a scale like a nature hierarchy system scale. It's not. Ooh, it's not like that. It's more like it's more like a system of, I almost want to say it's like a system of consciousness, but nothing's more conscious than anything else. It's just different types of consciousness. So maybe we're at a dead end here and we don't even know what we're thinking about anymore. The blue and red really have to be merged with some white and then go all the way through this joint. Yeah. 420. Oh yeah, and then there's my thing. Ooh, there's a bit of green in that. It would look like plant growing, right? But there can be white plants. Torn, is that just a metaphor, or are you actually implying that that we are trees? Because I don't even know if you got that point. Like you said, what you commented on was how I said weird plants evolve differently, but like I'm saying the plants. Ugh, you heard me, but I can try to again because that'll be good for explaining it different ways. Like I'm saying, but I'm getting lost here because did they plant themselves? Did they imagine themselves at 47 minutes? Yeah, they imagine themselves. Of course, they imagine themselves. They imagine themselves. But no, no, man. That metaphor, some blue that we spilt over here that we can mix with this red and white. Everything that's metaphorical. Oh, what's happening? Oh, it's because the water I put in the paint was blue. It is a purple. I'm gonna mix all the red with it. But yo, everything that's metaphorical is also a truth. Because the truth can only be a metaphor. All truths are metaphors. All truths are metaphors. Good thing I'm sticking to a topic and expanding on thoughts. I do that. I don't know why I pretend like I don't. Yeah, this white. Man, oh no, that's actually pretty white. Whoa. That's gonna be something wrong. Should this be a poster? Should this be a poster? Or should I cut this out? Or should I on top of here? The decisions. You know, if we were on some digital platform, we could do all of them. We could do all of the decisions. But I think we'll stick to putting it on here. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I didn't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put this paper on there. There's one reason why. Every surface must be purple. There's more red over here. I'll mix with this blue. And more white. Creating purple is the greatest task. Because it changes so much. And this is another thing that manifested, you know, me as a child, like playing with paint colors. Why did I do that? And it's the same thing. I'm still making the same choices. I guess that's just part of that ever-expanding nature. Oh, it's because every time I put white down, I add water. Ever-expanding nature force. But no, I mean we're actually trees. Like we're actually growing here in the ground. Because the ground doesn't exist. The ground is space. The ground is no different from if you were floating in space. It would just be forces underneath you that either light is picking up or light isn't picking up. There is no Earth. There is no Earth, all right? There may be there may be uh, a stopping yard station that you could usually call that, right? But there's nothing. But there's nothing solid that you're growing on. As a tree, as a plant is floating there. A plant is flying. So why do we let the air stop us from growing any more, from growing any larger? Why do we let that happen? Oh yeah, so there is a space, right? I mean, there is a place, a space, yeah, because all places are spaces in space. There is a place where, yeah, see, we can make that all purple up there. That's a stopping yard for stars, for suns. A place that's a stopping yard for suns. And what is the sun doing there? Just passing through. Because that's what you are. You are a star passing through a convenience store, basically. Do you see the spine? Do you see the bodies here? Spine, head. They used to be so face-like, but now I can still see the faces. Painting is a lot stranger than drawing. We need it to be lighter for some reason. I don't know if I even want if any primaries are even acceptable. Not even blue. Ooh, why am I feeling that way? Why am I feeling like I don't want, like I'm against the primaries? But you still see the heads and the beings and all that. But you see the trees, right? You see all that it could be, right? You hear the bees, right? And the locusts and the crickets buzzing in the trees, right?